Okay, well, as far as I know, we might actually be live right now. Let's just give this a little kickstart. And this one's not going to work, but we'll try it. Yeah, I don't know what that is. Alright, so actually I probably should have started this first, but here we go. I think we got them all going. Hopefully the chat will come through there. And we need our ticker. Ticker, yes. We need it. All right. Let's see where this stream is and check the chat. 809 views, subs, everything way down. It's okay. It's okay. We're back. Gotta check on the music too. For some reason it stopped. Alright, let me see if I can hear myself. Self, can you hear yourself? Sounds like I can hear it somewhere. We'll connect. Oh, it's probably connected to my phone. Alright, well, let's turn that off. Alright, I got a message, Chris. A lot of live notifications, so it looks like we're probably live in a few places. At least, let me make sure I turn off my phone Bluetooth and connect to my computer Bluetooth. So that, okay, I can hear myself now. Alright, very, very short on the delay, so pretty cool. Let me, okay, it says add as a friend. What's your username? Okay, let me copy that. Copy that. How's everyone doing? Oh. Alright. Cut. Let me just check on the Discord real quick. How do I invite someone? Invite a friend. Okay. Invite a user. I have a username. Search. Go to the Friends tab. Add a friend. Add by username. Paste. Send friend request. Friend request sent. Cool, man. I sent an invite. Chris accepted. Okay, well then I guess I don't need to tell him. Cool, man. All right, cool. Well, we are tightening up a few things. We own. All right. So I guess we'll keep that there. And I suppose we could just check real quick. What is, oh yeah. Well, I guess that's, maybe it's good etiquette if I just, edit. Yeah, I think I should go to edit. I could just copy it from here. Hey, no, that's not what I wanted. Oh. There we go. Looks cool. I see a notification, but hopefully, I don't know what's going to pop up on this screen. Rumble with its default user settings. Crazy. Dang, Gina. Alright, fine. Let me click on this. Eesh. Mute that. Or. Oh my god, it's gonna make me. Fine. I'll put it over here. And we'll go to this other tab right here and copy paste. Copy, paste. Thank you. Should be good. And Kick. What is up, Kick? Cool, man. Going on, Kick. All right. And I don't know how to edit the information on Kick. Edit panels? No. Customize channel, I guess. Really just like looking to update this stream information. Title, that kind of stuff. Edit stream info. Okay. Alright. Oh, not all that. There we go. This is cool. Alright. I don't think it's mature audiences only. No. Should be chill. Okay. Just want to make sure we are all good to go. Let's see how the chats handle this little situation. we got going on here? Where's our obs? Okay. Didn't think I would see the day. Out with the old and in with the new. Okay, so we got some chats coming through. How's it going tonight, guys? Hello, Kick. Hey, hello, Kick. Alright. And Twitch. Hello, Twitch. And Rumble's not gonna work. So, Rumble, just know I'm checking in. Alright? I'll say hello. Hello, Rumble. Alright. Are there any echoes? Any loops? Music too loud? Not loud enough? Out with the old and in with the new. Sounds good to Baka. Okay. Well, behold. Yeah. So, a lot of things are the same. Few updates. I guess probably you guys, whoever. Well, where's the I have a YouTube control panel thing open somewhere right there. There we go. Some of you might have seen the single noodle pipeline thing that we got going on now. So we just have one noodle going from one node to the next, except in a couple of occasions. But for the most part, it's just one going all the way across. And we have this image batcher, which is replacing the latent chooser, and it's big. I actually did not expect it to be this big, but it's necessary. And it's pretty awesome. So yeah. And then we have a couple of these down here, nodes to load things, images, and this to preview your batch before it goes into the sampler. Well, before it goes into the styler. So the prompt will generate lists of prompts depending on your settings here. The image batcher will, using either one or both of these images here, or a batch of images from your preprocessor node / group, will apply these settings. So I'm refactoring the code here because the preprocessor and the batcher both need access to the image processing methods because, well, I want to be able to do that same functionality on just like one image here, or if you have a list of images coming in from your preprocessor up here. In either case, I want to be able to do the in painting and the out painting and the other stuff that we'll go through in just a little bit. Hey, a couple people over on Rumble. What's up, guys? Kick. Maybe just one. Anyways, how's it going tonight? Opening a cold one for this locking in. Yeah, it's really not too crazy. These fields are not finalized, so we're gonna do a little bit of rearranging before we actually run this. Like I said, I was just refactoring the codes that way both of these nodes would have access to the image processing methods, because other than that, pretty much everything else is the same. We still have the styler here with the controlnets and the LoRa's, and we still have the sampler here and the prompt and everything else. Just everything's the same. We just have this little preview image over here for Canny images, if you're using Canny with the controlnet or whatever, and pose. That kind of stuff will show up right here. We'll get to that. And but yeah, really the image batcher is replacing the latent chooser, and then we have this preprocessor here, which both of these are about to change just a little bit, but for the most part, that's pretty much it in terms of overall. But of course, we're going to go through the features here and the how to use it. The top ones here are the same ones from the latent chooser. So if you want to use latent images, these are related to in painting and out painting and object removal and image transfer, object transfer kind of things. Back like you never left. Well, I never really left, I guess. I was always here in heart. It's my first energy drink in a few days, so we'll see. I'm still pretty tired though. I don't think I'm gonna be. I was gonna say maybe I'll be up all night, but doubt it. Hungry and tired. Anywho, so let's finish doing a little bit of that rearranging, and then we'll run a few examples here. Yeah. So everything is kind of growing up a little bit. These are big boy nodes now. And we have this theme here of where the node has an execute method which will take in a bunch of parameters and optionally pause the workflow and print out some stuff and set up a batch. So each node will have a batch associated with it. So for example, on the prompt, whenever you go into here, let's just close up these things. Right. Our prompt here, we have an execute method and we print some things. We're not pausing the workflow here because there's really nothing being done yet, because this is coming straight from the model loader. But we print something and then we run our node, and then we print some output or whatever, and then we return. That's the theme. And then optionally, somewhere in the beginning of this, we may pause the workflow on some of the nodes. All of the nodes have access to a global parameters object where they can set a variable called workflow paused to true or false. And if they set it to true, then the next node that it goes to in the workflow will see that and pause. And this is useful for viewing your pre-processed images, because you might want to make some changes before you send them on to the sampler. So you can run the preprocessor, see your batch, and then run it again until you get things how you want it, and then unpause and send it on through to the batcher and to the styler and to the sampler. And there'll be a few pause options throughout the workflow as we go, which you'll be able to just kind of bypass if you don't want them on. There's like little true false things. You can set it to just set it to not be paused, and it won't stop. But if you want to review your batches before they go to the sampler. View the preprocessed batch, view the image batch after you go through the image batcher, and then view the controlnet batch or the LoRa batch, whatever. Well, I guess there's really nothing to view with the LoRa batch. There's really nothing to view with the controlnet batch either. And anyways, you have some options to pause along the way before you get to the sampler. And yeah, each of these are kind of wrapped in this time operation function, which just calls this function with these parameters and times it, and that's how we can get our minutes and seconds right there for the printing. So that's kind of the flow of each node now, is that they have print, run in time, print, and optionally somewhere in here we can pause. And each one only has one input, one output for the most part, other than obviously the inputs like the fields that are on the node, but just one noodle coming in and out for the most part. And everything has gotten really, if you look at the input types here, all of our input types have gotten really in-depth tooltips. So if you want to like hover over that, you see you get a nice detailed note of exactly what this thing is up to here. Right in there. Try not to move my mouse, it's very sensitive. So all of the options for the latent type and examples, that way you got all the information you need. And hovering over The inputs, these are not really updated yet, but for the most part, these are pretty detailed too. Well, as needed anyways. Yeah. So trying to do that for everything on the workflow. A nice, pretty detailed tooltip. Not just the tip, the whole tool. So the idea here is that you can, with the image batcher, we have introduced larger image batches again. So we were doing this to where you would have many prompts, and then you would either use an input image or a latent image with your prompts. Now we're doing that, plus we have a few extra options. You can just do one empty latent image, so just all zeros. And you can do that with all of your prompts, or you can do a couple of options for noisy latent image, or you can do all white. And on the noisy one, you can use your global seed from your model loader to generate a noisy latent image that you can use for all of your prompts. Or you can do a different noise, like seed for each of your latents for each of your prompts, in which case it'll just go like seed 0, seed 1, seed 2, seed 3 for each prompt. And then you can also do multiple latents for each prompt, so you can have larger batches to where you have, say, like 4 latents per prompt. So if you have like 4 generated prompts here, as in this case right here, then for each prompt you could also A6, how's it going? Then you could do like 4 empty, or not 4 empty, but 4 noisy latents with seed 0, 1, 2, 3 for, you know, your prompts here. And then you can also still do the just image to image if you want to use an input image for your latent. And then so that's pretty much it on the latents. You know, we have black, we have white, and then we have the options for different noise generated latents. Still have the resolution presets here and the orientation, horizontal, vertical. This crop images, I might get rid of this, so I'm not really sure yet, but we'll come back to that. Fast, it starts using tension cores and generate much faster. I feel like I'm missing part of this conversation here. Paint percent. Okay, so paint percent is, well, if you just hover over this, you can see it says 0.001, but it's actually just 0 to 1. Controls how much of the image to remove. If using in paint or out in paint, a higher number removes more of the image. So scale of 0 to 1, paint percent. And so if you're using in painting or out painting, let's say you set it at like 0.1, that'll remove 10% either from around the border or from the center in a rectangle. And so yeah, obviously you can go from 0 to 1, 1 being 100%, which would just generate a new image. And then whenever you're using the in painting and out painting, you can do the same kind of noisy choices for your whatever was cropped out, whether it's the surrounding area or the center. You can fill in that area with either black or white or some random generated noise. So that's for the in painting and the out painting. All right, you. Paint type, right? Paint type is just for you to select whether you want, empty is all black, white, and then you have noised. And then we have maybe I'm about to change that. Oh, right, on the empty latent, right. So on the empty, on the latent type, this is where all this comes into play here. Check detail daemon. Yeah, I saw something about that. I came up with an easy trick on how to become a little more famous. Invent Laura and train her and upload her to Civet AI. Yeah, definitely training some Lauras is a good idea. Detail daemon. Yeah, I saw something about that. I'll have to look into it a little bit more. So on the in painting and out painting, you have in painting, which is just really one option, but on the out painting, there's really a few options. You have you can go scale, out painting scale, and that will scale your image down. So let's say you start with like a 1024 by 1024, and you set your out paint scale. You set your latent type to out paint scale, and your paint percent to like 10% or whatever, right? So it'll scale your image down 10% and then fill in the rest around it. Or if you do crop, then instead of scaling it down, it will crop 10% off. Otherwise, how are you? How do you feel? I feel pretty good, Six. How are you doing today? I'm really tired, but other than that, I'm pretty good. Really tired. In painting and out painting, right? Scale versus crop. And then you have mask paint, which is just where you can say, for example, on your input image here, if you right click, you can open in mask editor, and then you can mask some things, like for example, let me clear this out actually, and then let's go ahead and just mask his eye right there, right? We save that and ignore this one. This is just for if you're using the image transfer. So right now, if we're just doing the mask paint, this input image right here will just be ignored. So we have our latent type set on mask paint, and so we'll just try to we'll crop this out and then put noise here, or black or white or whatever, basically it's object removal. So you could mask over the whole dude or whatever. Detail Damon, yeah, I'll check him out. 6. Are you constantly starting to stream or just for today? I probably won't stream in the morning. We'll see. It depends on what time I get to sleep tonight. And then tomorrow is Sunday. I might stream tomorrow, or I might just start back up on Monday. But yeah, we're back regularly. Right. So mask paint is essentially either object removal or object replacement. Excuse me. So if you had, I don't know, something like our little water bottle here. Right, you could, yes, please. Any news or technology, video ideas, anything like that. Send whatever you feel is relevant, because you have good ideas. So you could have a photo like this, and then you could mask out the water bottle, and in your prompt you can have something other than a water bottle, and then, you know, it would replace the water bottle with whatever is in your prompt. So it can be object removal or object replacement. It's essentially just in painting wherever you want it to in paint, basically. So if there's like a glass or it's some kind of dish sitting on, like in this image right here, if I wanted to get rid of this plate, I could just open a mask editor, and if I mask this out and fill this little area right here in with noise, and send this back through flux, then more than likely it's gonna put, you know, especially if whatever I put in my prompt, like smooth wooden countertop or something like that, it's going to make sure to I mean, there won't be a plate there, it'll just be random noise, so it'll just fill in the random noise with whatever goes in this scene, basically, which in this case would just be a flat countertop. I mean, there is a chance that it could just paint another plate back in there, but it's not likely. So anyways, you just click Save to Node, and then it'll do the processing, and then you'll get a preview of it over here in this preview batched images. And so that's just for the single image that you're loading up on this node right here. And then if you put your latent type over to image transfer, that's where this other load image node comes into play here. And it's just going straight back up into your inputs over here. So this node is really optional. If you didn't want to do image transfer, then you could just take this out. But well, I haven't tested that yet, but in theory. And obviously this node is optional if you don't want to see your image, your batched images, a preview, then you could just get rid of that. But I think it's probably going to be pretty helpful. But all this is just a preview node, and this is just a load image node. I just changed the titles there is all. So if you have it on image transfer, then whenever you're doing the masking, you can just say this is your transfer from image, and this is your transfer to image. And they can be the same image, or they can be different images, or whatever you want to do. But basically, so let's right now I have this plate masked, and then over here I have his little binocular thingy, goggles, whatever, masked. So in theory, whenever I run this, what would happen is it would copy this plate and it would put it right here on his face, inside this little circle. It would scale it down and stick it right in that little circle there. And obviously that would make no sense, but that's the idea. So it would, maybe there's a more practical example. Well, I don't know. This is kind of semi-practical. If this was maybe like a smaller water bottle and I wanted a plate right here on the table next to it, I could mask the plate from right here. And then in this image, I can open the mask editor and I can say mask this area right here. And now my plate will go right here. See what I'm saying? I send workflow. Okay, cool. I'll check it out. Thank you, 6. Anywho. So, right. That's image transfer. Pretty straightforward. And of course, if you wanted to move something in an image, say you just use the same image. So you're going from and to. And so I suppose if you wanted to, I don't know, maybe you want more candles. Let's go here and let's get our mask editor. Let's clear out the plate we have masked. So I could just mask these candles here. And then in my to image, I can say, I don't know, maybe I want them right here. And I put a little line right there. And so now these candles will get copied over into this space right here. So I have more candles. And the object transfer is pretty useful like that, but it gets even more useful whenever you start chaining up these images, because you can get things exactly how you want it. For example, if we go to this same image for all of them, then we can do there are different options for how you can do the image transfer. You can do them like in pairs. So you could say use these first two images. So if you wanted to do two certain image or set of images here and another set here, you can do that. Or you can do one to many or many to one. So you can say, you can take something from this image and maybe you have 3 other images over here. Then you can take something from this image and go to all 3 of these into whatever places you want on those. Or you can go many to one, which is where you get a lot more control, because you can say, for example, well, I mean, these are like contrived examples, but if you want to move the plate somewhere else, like over here onto the stove, you can move it onto the stove, and then you can fill this area in with noise, so it will get just countertop generated there. Then you have your plate over here. And then in this image over here, you're essentially kind of starting from where this one left off. So you have the changes that have already been made here, and then you can make more changes, and then same and the same and same. So you get several stages of changes that you can make. So your output image can have everything exactly where you want it, and that obviously includes any any masked area. So it can be a person or an item or a tree. I don't know, whatever, anything. So it's been pretty freaking cool to figure all this out. It's been a pain in the ass to figure it out. But yeah, once it's tightened up, which it is nearly there, it is going to be super useful. Do you know what you can do to erase elements that you have indicated without writing any sense to do it with a model that can see what is in the mask? It's going to take me a minute to translate that one, 6. I'm a little tired right now, and that's quite a sentence. Do you know what you can do to erase the elements that you have indicated without writing any sense to do it with a model that can see what is in the mask? You might have to rephrase it. I'm not 100% sure what you mean about that, 6. So let's just see if we can't get some examples going here. In our code, I have on the image batcher here, well, to erase what is in the mask but without writing text. I mean, you can leave your prompt empty if you want. But obviously it would help to write a prompt in there. You don't have to, though. Unless I'm misunderstanding you, which is possible. So the preprocessor here, I moved all of these out of the preprocessor so that way both of these nodes can have access to it, and then this is just a really small thing here, and yeah, these are just the generating latents. When it's idle, I mean with the vision model to recognize what's there and write the text, or with vision G. If you're talking about like image to text, yeah, we can do image to text. It depends on, you know, what you want to use it for. It will be useful to have but do you mean in the situation where you have a mask, you're trying to erase something? So if you want to erase this plate here, you don't really need to you don't really need a prompt that's specific for that. You're just your regular prompt that you're using for this image. You don't have to mention anything about the plate specifically or anything like that. Just to understand what is in the mask, write it as text. I mean, yeah, you can do image to text on any part of the image, the masked area or the whole image, or, you know. I'm not doing that right now, but you can. The image of that girl is a staple of the channel at this point. Yeah, she was like the first chick I ever generated, man. It came out pretty good. I try to wipe off a spoon, for example, and it never works. So that it is not obvious there was something there. Yeah. You're just talking about whenever you try to erase an object and there's always kind of like a blur or an artifact or something. Whenever I'm using like Adobe, I don't know if you're talking about Adobe, but Photoshop has the built-in like object removal thing, and they just updated all of their programs, so maybe it's better now. But yeah, there's always been a little bit of a blur or something. It does all right. It's not bad, but this is essentially that. They call it generative fill. So yeah, generative fill or in painting, masked. I'm calling it masked painting or whatever. So you have in painting, out painting, and then masked painting. But it's the same feature. Firefly. Yeah, I saw something about Firefly too. Yeah. Haven't tried it yet, but yeah, I'm sure Adobe makes pretty fire stuff, bro. Firefly. You might have seen a housefly, maybe even a superfly. But you ain't never seen a firefly. Firefly is the model that powers what you are talking about. Generative fill. Right, gotcha. Yep. So yeah, this is essentially the same thing we're doing with flux and stable diffusion. You read another chat. I don't know what you mean, 6. Oh, Twitch chat, yeah. You should be able to see it on the screen. But so let's see if we can't get some examples going. I want examples. And I'm tired, so let's try and run this preprocessor here. I have not tried this since I've gotten all of these. This is a lot of code in here. I mean, it's not crazy, I guess. 300, a little over 300 lines. But yeah, anywho. Getting type definitions and all of my parameters and everything in here. It's growing up. It's maturing. I feel like they need to release a new version of Flux. Yeah, exactly. We got used to this version and I don't see such nice anymore. Yeah, they need to get onto their next model and give us Pro or whatever. Yes, more flux. We do need more flux. Lots of it. Yo. Mad Spin. Hello. How goes it? I don't even know if I want to finish this stupid energy drink, man. I'm so tired. There's just no point in drinking this. I'll check it out, 6. I want to try to get some examples going here. Where are you guys hanging out at? Because I remember you saying he was going to join y'all's Discord, but then Flow State was saying how you don't. Oh, yeah. Yeah. So we have a Discord now. You're in the YouTube chat. Hold on one sec, my friend. I got you. Invite. Copy. Back to the YouTube chat. Yeah, for sure. Flow State DNG. There you go, man. Yep. They talked me into it, and it's been very, very useful. So I am a fan of Discord now, as long as it's mine and I can control it. C Films, hello. How goes it? How's it going? Over on Twitch. Cool, man. Got some new people over on Twitch. How's it going? And I haven't seen anything from Kick, but I assume it's going. Nothing on Kick yet. Okay, cool. Cool. I'm doing okay. Well, that's good. According to Discord at the moment, nothing is better than Discord has everything. Discord is very useful, I will say. Need to get the shops going over there and all that stuff. It's a lot built into one. Nice, cool. Right, IRC, yeah. Yeah, it's not bad. Alright, so we got all this set up. It should be pretty close to ready to go here. Let's get this here. So these are all of our helper utility functions here. And we have this, which takes in all of our parameters, which I'm pretty sure I updated all of these. Yeah, all of these should be going into here. I'm going to cook. Have a nice day or night for you. Thank you, 6. You have a good day too, or night. All right, image list. Mask list, right, yep. So if you're not using the preprocessor, then it'll just return. It won't do anything because if you look over here, you have a little button that you can say turn this on or off. So if you don't want to use this up here, you could just bypass them, but you don't have to do that. You can just turn this off. Turn this to false using preprocessor false. So then this will just send all of these images straight through, and you'll just see them over here in the output. It'll just show these images unedited. But it won't send anything on, you know, you just won't use it. And you could also use this as if you have this on image to image, you can just use it as a way to send in a list of images. Maybe you want to send in these 4 images to use, like not for outpainting or inpainting, not for image transfer or anything like that. You just want to use them as latents. So you can chain them up here. And so on the preprocessor, I have it accepting 4 images and masks because that's already a lot. And this node gets really tall. I tried it with 10 and it's like really tall. So I was thinking maybe I'll just have it to where you can chain these. So you can have 4 per preprocessor. Maybe you can just have a couple of rows here. and then the output of each one can be fed into the next one, and then so you can chain them together. So if you had like 3 rows of 4 here, you could have 12 input images, and you know, maybe this row is like image transfer, and this row is in painting, and then this row is out painting. You could do a lot of stuff with that. And of course, you can combine them up with all of your different prompts, and it's a lot of combinations. And we haven't even got to the controlnet and the styler, the LoRa and that kind of stuff yet. So but anyways, we'll come back to that. First things first, we just need to get this cracking. So, okay, the last couple of settings that I haven't touched on are the like rotation and feather, drop shadow, base intensity, object intensity, match intensity. So if you want to transfer something, let's say you're going to transfer from this image. Say you want to transfer this candle right here. And you're going to transfer it over here. Where do we want to go with it? Mask editor. Let's put him on the stove over here. So our candle is going to go over here now. And let me get back to gaming, but thanks again so much, man. I'll check out the Discord when I get a chance ASAP. Peace for now. Yeah, no worries, man. You have a good night. So you have your, what was I going to say? Oh, right. So this is maybe not the best example. But you can apply feathering. Probably in a lot of cases, feathering would be useful. It's not the best example for a drop shadow, but you could put a drop shadow on your candle if you want. Base intensity and object intensity. The base is the background image, so maybe I'll change that to background intensity. Or anyways. So the object is the object that you're moving from the from image over to the to image, and then the base intensity is the background on the to image. And the reason I did that is because I was playing around with a few different images, and some of them have like, you know, really high bright lighting, and some of them have lower lighting. And if you try to transfer something from a bright scene into a lower darker scene, then, you know, obviously it doesn't match too well. And so just to blend the appropriate lighting with the thing, if you're transferring from a wildly different image, you can tone it down so it matches more in the environment that you're going to. And match intensity uses this where did it go? I might have taken this out actually. Yeah, I think I took this out. I meant to keep it because it was kind of cool, but it looks like it's probably gone. She gone. All right, well, scratch that. Yeah. Anyways, it was using some kind of like CV2 histogram thing Might have to find it again. It was kind of a neat little effect. I don't really know how to explain it, but it used a histogram of values. I don't really know. Somebody who knows about photography would probably know more about what the histogram in terms of like colors maybe or lighting, but it matches them up and tries to make the two things more similar. Oh man, so much energy. Lighting, yeah. Okay. So, what do we got here? All right. So we're going to get in all of this stuff, the badge type, paint type, rotation. Right, and the rotation, X offset, Y offset, that's not on the node yet. Histogram will tell you how the exposure is on a graph. Right, yeah. So it tries to match them up, but looks like I got rid of that method, so we'll have to see if we can find it, because it was pretty neat. More to the left is dark, more to the right is bright, yeah. Cool, man. So the preprocessor takes in badge type, paint type, right. So your badge type is like, you know, are you doing in painting, out painting, image transfer, that kind of thing. Paint type is I just want to make sure I'm right because I'm kind of tired here. Object, scale, feather, yeah. Paint type is like what, if you're doing in painting or out painting or whatever, what I feel like I'm missing a variable here. Alright, if we go for prep image batch, and then we have prep paint batch. Alright, we have images and masks. And then we have the paint type and the fill type. That's what I was thinking, the fill type. The paint type is like in painting or out painting or mask painting. Well, oh my god, see, it's a lot of crap to take into consideration here, but so the paint type, we have empty, noise, white. That's really the fill type. I gotta change that. And then the batch type, we have that, which we're about to add in painting and out painting too. If we look at this one, the latent type here is what we were calling it, but we have to like consolidate our variables and make sure it's the same on both nodes. So have empty, right, but the preprocessor is not going to be doing any of the empty latents or the noise latents. It's just going to be doing the image processing, obviously. So it'll be like the image to image, which really just returns a list of images. And then obviously the in painting, out painting, mask painting, and image transfer. So it needs to be consistent on both the nodes, is what I'm trying to say. Baka says to fix light and dark contrasts in image transfer, you can also run a second pass through the K sampler with a denoise. Yeah, that's so that's the goal, man. That's this like you can also run a second pass through the K sampler with a low denoise. This pre-processing step up here, this is just to get the image ready to go back through the K sampler. Cause like if you just do the masking and like, you know, transfer it from one place to another or whatever, one image to another, the results aren't gonna be great, even if you do really. Will you stop? Even if you're doing like really careful masking. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So the goal, the idea is that you would transfer, you know, one or more things from one or more images to one or more other images anyways. And then once you get all the things transferred over, then that stuff comes down in here into this workflow and then goes through, combines with your prompts. And then you can still put the controlnet or the LoRa or whatever, and then it'll go through the sampler again, or not necessarily again, but it's not necessarily a second pass. It's just a pass. It could be the first pass. Because like all of these images over here, these happen to be ones that I generated, but you can just grab images off Google or whatever and just load up whatever images you want in here. Mask, copy, paste, whatever, put things where you want it, and then your output of that has all of the objects and people or whatever in the right position. Then you send that back through the sampler, and boom, you got a brand new image. So these can be like, you know, images that you've generated, or they can be from Google, or they can be wherever, anything. Mix and match. Yeah. Fire epic. Yes, epic fire sauce. I mean, with this workflow here, where you can still need that Discord icon on the stream so people know you're about that Discord live now, right? Yeah. Oh yeah, it's not on the stream, huh? Yeah. I need to redo my overlays and like loops and stuff like that, transitions and all right, lay down. So jangly today. I don't know why his collar is very jangly. But yeah, I need to do the overlays and yeah, all kinds of stuff to do. I got some really cool ideas actually. Very soon, very, very soon. All right, you need to lay down. I need to, right, okay. So fill type, paint type. We don't have a fill type in here, do we? Image preprocessor. There should be a fill type, except there's not, so perhaps we will take a look at that, right? The fill type. I don't see one on here either. Paint type, no fill type. Right. Well, we're gonna need a fill type. So we'll come back to the image batcher. I just want to focus on the preprocessor for right now. So we're gonna need a fill type, and we got batch type, paint type, and fill type. So batch type is gonna be like, are you doing image transfer, you're doing in painting, you're doing out painting. Paint type is only relevant if you're using some type of painting, which would be like in painting, out painting, or mask painting. Well, that might be the same as batch. Alright, batch type and paint type. What do we have this set as right now? Right, this is supposed to be like the fill type, noise, empty, white. So that's what that's gonna be. And then paint type, we have a use for it somewhere. Paint type and fill type, right? So if paint type is, okay, so we have that as mask, but I don't think that needs to be separate. So I think what we would just do is we have mask paint, and then we have in painting and out painting. So it just needs to be in the batch type. It's under the latent type here, but yeah, so it's essentially going to be this list from here down: image to image, in paint, out paint, scale, out paint, crop, mask, paint, and image transfer. And then paint type is really irrelevant. So it's going to be on batch type. So we just got to keep track of that and make sure we change it. Super annoying. So anyways, if we look on the node, paint type, I guess we'll just change this to fill type is what we'll do. Fill type. And so our batch type needs to actually be updated. Yes, we need to add in. We have image transfer, 1 to 1, 1 to many, many to 1, and then we have in painting, out painting, mask painting. Yes, that's right. So tired. In painting, out painting, and mask paint. Mask paint. Right, I feel like I keep getting around to saying this and I never do. Rotation, XY offset, object scale, feather, drop shadow, base. Well, I already went through the intensity and the drop shadow, the feather. Scaling and offset is exactly what it sounds like. Rotation also for the object that you're transferring from the image to the other image. That object, when you in the position that you place it on the other image, you can scale it up or down. You have XY offset to move it around, and rotation, right? Yeah. So rotation in degrees. You can move, scale, rotate the object. I mean, it's gonna go where you put it whenever you do the mask, but you know, if you want it to be smaller or larger or rotated or whatever. Yeah, all right. And we have our batch type, our fill type. So in order to kick this off, we have this chain of events here, right? And in order to get that going, we need prep paint batch, and then we have prep image transfer batch, which this takes a dictionary and create image object, image transfer object here. Yeah, okay, and then kind of the same thing over here, right? No, not on that one. So, but what we need is that entire batch params dictionary, which ends up being these right here. So XY offset object scale. Feather, drop, shadow, base intensity. Yeah, and then we need fill type is, well, I guess fill type is still relevant in both. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Which it's not on either of those lists, so it should end up in both of the param batches. Batch params, whatever. Let's see here. There is no way this is gonna work. I'm so tired. Okay. Batch type, paint type, rotation, right. So fill type, we need to put that in here somewhere. And we just put that underneath the batch type. So, right, it was paint type. So, we're going to call it fill type. That sounds a little more accurate to me. And so, on the image batch, we are going to change that to fill type. Yeah, I thought about doing the 24-hour stream. Might have to get that going soon, but then I thought about it, and it's like there might be a point pretty soon where a lot of my screen time involves like sensitive information. So I didn't really want to start up the 24-hour stream until I know how that's going to shake out. Because if I end up doing that a lot of the time, then it's going to be kind of pointless, because then I'll just have to like go off screen for most of the day anyways. So yeah, we'll see how it works out. It's a pretty good idea though. I wouldn't mind doing it. 24-hour stream. But I would need like goals for sure. If you're gonna do a 24-hour stream, you need like, it needs to be like a code sprint kind of thing where you you know, by the end of the day today you got to get XYZ done, you know. Task list and checking them off as you go. Build it, check it off. Build it, check it off. Build it, check it off. Right, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, no, for sure it can be fun too sometimes. So, okay. The fill type we have in there now, we're setting that on our batch. Then we pass our batch into the preprocess images, and we get into the preprocess images. It's going to check the batch type. If the batch type is image to image, then we're just going to return the list of images because there's nothing to do. It's just a list of images. If image transfer is in the batch type, now that would correspond to, in the batch type here, right? We have several different types of image transfer, one-to-one, one-to-many, and many-to-one. So if image transfer is in the name of the batch type, then we are going to pass this off to so we get our batch parameters, and then we say prep image transfer batch, and then the other one would be paint if there's paint, because obviously there is like in painting, out painting, and mask paint. So there's 3 different types of painting. And so if paint is in the name, then we're going to say prep paint batch. So if we take a look at the image transfer, prep image transfer batch, we have this little guy right here, pretty straightforward. We have a list of images and a list of masks. And we are just going to loop through all of the images, and the masks should be the corresponding masks. And for each one of them, we are going to... Right, we take some details from them, and we're going to put them onto this little dictionary that we can keep track of, and then we are going to stick that onto this list right here, and once we fill that list up, then we can pass it off to the prep transfer images, which I believe is going to return a list of image tensors. So we pass it off to the prep transfer images. We have a list of images and a transfer type string. So the transfer type is the batch type. I should probably change that name, but yeah, it's the batch type. The transfer type, and it's getting called where? Right, okay, we're not even, yeah, so this is the batch params at the Betty batch type. Okay, so prep transfer images, image objects, and then which is that list, and then transfer type, yeah, which is the batch type. Maybe I should change that. image transfer, batch type, transfer type, batch type. Yeah, I mean, just to be consistent, I feel like it should be the same. I could see it making sense either way, but let's go with this. Right. 1 to 1, 1 to many, many to 1, and it'll call those. And those are those right here, which it will... let's just assume it's working. We'll give it a shot. I think theoretically these should work. Haven't tried them yet, but anyways, so we should be able to... I think this should work. Fill type, we got all that in there. So let's see how it does. First of all, let's just go ahead and get all of the lower stuff off. And we'll do a restart. I send you 2-3 news. Awesome. Thank you, 6. I will check it out in the morning. I've got to try to make a video tomorrow, which is probably going to be on Mochi, because it seems interesting, and you know, according to this, it says it can run on a 4090, so I'm going to try to run it on a 4090. And then we also have a server with some H100 GPUs, so we can try that out too. Let's move that up. Oh no, you go back to where you came from. Okay, let's zoom in a little here. Get on now. Get on now, you hear? Alright, whatever, that's good for now. Let's make sure we're good here. If we do image to image, it should just send the list on through. Our fill type should be ignored. Rotation 0. Y offset should be... doesn't matter. Object scale, all that stuff should not matter. Drop shadow. I'll just leave it there. Base intensity. What is the default for base intensity? Doesn't say. It shouldn't matter because we're not doing object transfer anyway. So using preprocessor is on false. So if I do that, should just get a list of images as we do there, and then if we turn using preprocessor to true, we should still get a list of images because oh, why is my clip loader, what? Were you able to get a chance to look at pulling metadata from Civet AI LoRa's? Oh, I forgot I have this flux, this little flux workflow up here. It's like, why is this running anything? Jeez. Crazy, man. And this is just gonna run the same thing it just ran last time. So freaking hungry right now. Oh man, I cannot wait to eat and get back in shape. It's gonna be so great. I'm gonna get huge. Oh yes, I know. Let's first of all bypass all of that. All right. Were you able to get a chance to look at pulling metadata from Civet AI for LoRa's? I haven't looked into it yet. Could be a good idea though. Let's see here. Right, so we have this on true, and we got. Okay, there we go. Image list on right here. It's looking for image list on the image batch. On 444, good number. Good number. It's looking at 444. I haven't been able to get one to work, but I have a feeling it needs something else that will pull in the data. Yeah, I'm sure they have like an API or something. .444, we're looking for images and image list. Well, we have the input image list. We changed the name. That's why. Yeah, I guess we'll keep it like that. Input image list, and then we have images, input image list, input mask list. Yeah, we'll keep it like that. So we'll change this to input image list. And then we have image transfer is transfer, right, that should be, I'm pretty sure that's good. I think that's okay. Batch inputs already did that. Yeah, and this is just going to call those prep paint batch, prep image transfer batch. Otherwise, it will just return that. Okay. Let's see how far that gets us. What do we have? Hello, Kick. Hello, Rumble. Okay, so that is what I expected, right? So on the image preprocessor, if we have this turned to false, we're not using the preprocessor. Then really nothing else matters here. The only thing that's going to happen is these images are going to get passed straight through. And if we have it set to true, we are using the preprocessor, but our batch type is image to image, which is just sending a list of images straight through, so it's going to do the same thing. Because image to image, the only thing we're doing is just importing a list of images to use as our latent images. And then if we want to do, I guess we could try in painting. Our list is messed up here. Out painting, mask paint. Out painting, mask paint. That would be on our types, right? Yes, we need a comma. Right, yeah. We still have a fill type, yes, okay. So we need our comma there. Let's go ahead and do a restart. And Mochi seems kind of maybe promising, especially on the FP8 version. Has anybody tried to run it locally yet? Right, so we have in painting, out painting, and mask painting. Let's go with in painting. And our fill type is, let's go with noise. The rotation and stuff, that only applies if you're using object transfer. So really it just comes, oh, we need paint percent. Where's our paint percent? We need paint percent. So fill type, rotation. There was another type. Batch type, fill type, rotation. Okay, let's go like right here and call this paint percent, right? Yeah. Paint. Oh. Paint percent. And I suppose we will call this paint percent. Back to our types, and this will be, didn't we already have this specified? No, maybe not. Yeah, we have it right here. Yeah, paint percent. We'll just go with that. Image batcher paint percent. All right. Oakley dokley. All right, do a little restart. Restart here. I think I'm gonna have to cook soon, guys. It is getting late. I wanted to try to show an example of the image transfer or the in painting or something. In painting, right, fill type, noise, and then our paint percent. Let's go with like 0.1. Chef state, yeah. Rotation, object scale, I guess 1. Feather, right, feather would be 0. Okay, base intensity, right, match intensity is false. Use preprocessor true. Painting, yes, okay. None. Paint percent on execute, and We got paint percent, and it should be after fill type. We have paint percent, and that is a float, because we'll all float on again. Huh. I love some Modest Mouse, man. It'd be great if we could play like real music on stream. So lame, man. You're gonna freaking... Oh, you can't play music. Bro. I would kill for some Modest Mouse right now. Well, I probably wouldn't kill for it, but you know, it would be nice. Alright, so we got our paint percent in there. We need to make sure we put it on our batch. Put it on our batch. Paint percent. You know what? I just remembered. There we go. Cool, man. Cool. Dude, there's people talking about making... What if Jones was the press secretary? That would be so crazy. Dude, can you imagine what a clown world we live in? But it would be hilarious. The good thing about Idiocracy is there is some hilarity that ensues. Press Secretary Jones. Crazy. Can you imagine? 20 years ago, you tell me that was going to happen. I would be like, no way. You're crazy. You're out of your mind. That dude is going to be the press secretary in the White House. And now it's like an actual possibility. He might end up being the... Oh my God. It would be a genius move. What a clown world. What a Twilight Zone world we live in. Where that dude could be the White House press secretary. Genius and weird and completely unexpected. So crazy. So crazy. Anyways, we have our paint percent on there, and we're passing that through. It's going to be on the batch now, and then when it goes into here, we have the batch type, right? And then we're going to go into there with the batch params. The paint percent is on here, so it's not going to get passed into that. That's fine. And then we go into paint percent, prep paint batch, which is right here. Images, masks. Do we still do that? We have the batch params, prep paint batch. Right, we changed that to that. That should be fine. prep paint batch. This is just going to have batch params now. So we can cut all of that out. Batcharuni paramaskuni is going to be a dictionary. Just like what we did right there, which is cool. Cool, man. Cool. Alright, and then we can get this stuff out of here, which is probably going to be the same way we did it here. Or not. I guess if we add the image mask and batch params, I guess it probably is going to end up being the same as this. Create image transfer object. It should be the same as this, essentially. The only thing we're doing is leaving out the image list and the mask list. So I suppose we're really just going to be doing that same thing. Paint type, fill type, paint percent. Yeah, I mean, by the time we get to the prep paint batch, we're coming from right in here. And we got that batch of params, which already excludes all of the image transfer params. They're already filtered out, so all we need to do is filter out the same thing we did there. So yeah, I suppose we'll maybe just leave it, but we'll copy it. I guess it's technically the same method twice, but it's not really a big deal. Just a couple lines. So then this is all just batch params. Didn't I just do that? Batch params. This is create image paint object, which is a dictionary. I swear I just changed that, right? Oh, we changed it on prep paint batch, yeah. But this one is also right. No, we're passing in. We had the paint type, yeah. So we're gonna pass in the image mask and then the batch params. Image mask and then the batch params. Image mask and image mask and batch params, which are going to be just like these right here. Torch tensors and the dictionary we already have. So that's going to save right there. Okay. As long as it's not an image list or mask list, we're good. And then we just stick the image tensor and the mask tensor on there. Should be good to go. What do we got here on this? Oh, right, yeah. So we don't actually need that, right? Do we? Oh, we need images and masks. Which is similar to what we did right here. Image mask, image list, and mask list. That's now called input image list and input mask list. So I guess we can maybe like do like this. Should be called. It's just called an input image list, right? Image. Input image list. And on the mask list, we could do the same thing. It's called the input Mask list. Mask your head at. Right. And down here we had something similar right here. Images and masks on the prep image transfer batch. Yeah. On that one. Okay. And we'll do a restart. Okay. Chef state. Yes, we have the viewer counts. We need to get all of that stuff into our API. Okay, in painting, noise, 10%, rotation 0, XY 0, scales 100. Feather none, drop shadow none, base intensity, all that stuff. Okay. So in painting, let's see what we get here. Unpack the values. Dev over Trump. No, 6. I don't vote. I do not get involved with that kind of stuff. Too many values to unpack. Expected 2. Alright, KV in image batch. If K not in image transfer params. Expected 2. Yeah, I better have to. Oh, because I didn't do values, right? I believe that is supposed to be values. In paint params, image batch. There was some other place we you expect him to stop the 2 wars because that's what he promised, isn't it? You know, it could go either way. Politicians never do what they promised. It would look good for him to do it, and then that might give him a mandate to do other things that he wants to do. So, you know, if he does stop the 2 wars, then everybody will say, "Oh, good job," and then people will cut him some slack if he does something else maybe that they don't like. And so he might do it for that reason, but I don't know. It's also very lucrative to keep wars going, so who knows? But either way, it's not him doing anything. We don't need to get off onto that topic. We don't need to get off onto that topic. Right, so six, I would say, in my opinion, one should be interested in these things because in reality, age does not matter. Yeah, you definitely should be aware of what's happening in the world, and you should have an understanding of politics and, you know, everything, right? Religion, philosophy, etc., right? But don't concern yourself with politics, you know, beyond learning how it works. Figure it out, and then once you get it figured out, then just forget about it. You want to know how it works. You want to know how the things that they're doing affect you, but for the most part, it's not worth your time. Yeah. Right. Yeah, I think that's probably how most people are. Most people don't go to church every Sunday. Right. Okay. Anyway, so we're passing that through. It should be able to pick that up. The paint percentage and yeah, I did see it. I'll check it out tomorrow. I'm gonna try to get an example to show, and then I'm gonna call it a night and go cook some food and get some sleep. And then I'll check out those messages you sent me whenever I wake up. There's a lot of green over on Kick. All the emojis are green. I don't know how I feel about that. The live indicator is green. Everything's green on Kick. It's a lot of green. Alright. Anyways, got some people over on Kick. That's pretty cool. How's it going, Kick viewers? Let's see here. So, right, batch type, print params, image transfer params, and we're on the paint. So we're going to prep paint batch. Prep paint batch gets the paint batch params. Paint batch params are filtered out from the image transfer params. And over here we have the input image list and the input mask list, which we should have on those, and image mask batch params. Yep. Okay. And right. So that should be fine. And then, what was the error we're getting here? Oh, the KV on 447, which was right here on 447, really. Right, and that's because we needed to do items, I believe. There's another place where we did that. Just want to make sure it should be items. It would have been like right here. Huh. Or not in that one, I guess. And probably not in that one either, yeah. Alright, I think it's supposed to be items. If K, yeah, if K9 items. And same thing right there. Alright, let's give that a restart. I promise this all works how I've said it works. I just, in the middle of rebuilding things, and everything's been tested. It just needs to be tested again now that things have been refactored. But the theory is solid. It was working pretty nicely. Alright, so let's try that. See what we get. Too many values to unpack. Expected 2 on 447 again. Interesting. KV for KV and image. Oh. God, it's not these items. It's the. Oh, no. Let's go like right here. Get that. And it's supposed to be on this items. Yes. Okay. Cool, man. Cool. Yeah, I got some cool stream stuff coming too. It's gonna be real rad. Real rad. Okay, still expecting 2. Oh, this is on 222. Good. 222. We're moving on. 222 is right in here. Yeah, that's not gonna work. We're not using image index anyways. Yeah, can't do that. Oh, my foot is falling asleep. Oh. Oh my goodness. Yeah, it is time for some grub. Paint type. Right, it's not paint type anymore, it's fill type. And that is on 223. Yes, the very next line. Let's make sure we change it right there to, it's going to be fill type. Well, this is batch type, yeah. Batch type, yeah. Image tensor, mask tensor. Oh my god. Mask painting, in painting, out painting, image tensor, paint percent. Yeah. Fill type, yes. Good. Okay, so that's batch type. Almost there. We're working our way down the chain. The chain is almost to its end, which means we should see some in painting in just a few seconds. Give me some in painting. What do you got here? 224 image tensor. 224 image tensor. Well, this is a list of image tensor objects, or image objects that have an image tensor on them. It does say image tensor. So yeah, I guess we're setting it as image tensor. Tensor, and this will be a mask tensor. I wonder if we did that on the transfer image object. Yep, it looks like we have that there. So then on this right here, make sure that says batch type, which it does, and then this says from image and to image. It's probably fine. And then same thing on those, I imagine. Transfer object from image. This is actually going to be image tensor. And then here, this should be the mask tensor. Might actually just drop this on down to the next line. Make it a little more here, a little easier to read. Okay. Maybe I'll go like that. Alright, well, how far does that get us? Almost there. Almost there. Paint it. Image tensor. Yes, it's IMG tensor. What line is that on? 224, of course. All of these. Image tensor. It should be img tensor. All right. Seed. Okay. Seed on 228. 228 right here, right? On the image, it should have a seed. And let's just see here. It should have a seed. We are passing, coming from the preprocess images, we went to here with the paint batch params, and the paint batch params does in fact have, the seed is not filtered out, so it should still have the seed. And oh right, where are we getting that seed from? That seed is coming from on 228, right? We get the on the object here, on the image paint object. Right, it's not gonna have a seed on it. Interesting. Prep paint image, the batch paint, the mask paint, the in paint, and the out paint will all potentially need a seed. Well, we have the images, which is a list there, and And okay, sure. Yeah, so we need to get the seed, which I suppose we could just do as like 0, 1, 2, or we could just go with global seed, but this is actually not going to have access to global seed unless we pass it through. So let's just say instead we could I mean, we could pass our seed in. Yeah, I suppose we might as well. Let's pass the seed in from our model loader so we have that to go off of. The only other option would be is if we used our image index as a seed, but I think it'd probably be better to have a reproducible seed. So we're gonna have to go to our inputs on the preprocessor and add in a seed. Suppose we could just add it to the bottom. Doesn't really matter. Let's just call it a, for now, I'll just call it an int. Let's just call it a global seed and we'll make it a global seed. And we will restart la. Yeah. Chris, hopefully you're not watching anymore. It was kind of a waste of your time to be on this stream. But if you are watching, let me know if you have any questions, but we're just not really to the point where I wanted to show you what I wanted to show you yet. But we're getting there very, very, very shortly, maybe not tonight. Because I've already been up for quite a while. So let's change this, convert it to an input. And, well, I suppose for now, let's convert it back to a widget. We'll leave it on 4. Global seed is an int. Right. Okay. Oh, geez. All right. So instead of trying to keep track of this, because I am like crazy tired, I'm gonna have to follow this seed all the way back through this chain of functions here, and I'm really tired and really hungry, so I don't think that's going to go super well, and probably gonna end up doing a lot more work just trying to do this while I'm half asleep than it would take if I were rested and fresh. So I think what I'm going to do is call it here, and we will pick this back up either tomorrow, or I will do some more work tomorrow and see you guys on Monday. One of those two will happen, and hopefully between now and then there will be a video as well. So anyways, thank you guys for joining. 6, I will check out your messages in the morning whenever I get up, and I'm sure you have some good ideas in there. You always do. So thank you for that. And Baka, good night. SP, good night. 6, good night. And I'll see you guys tomorrow or Monday. Peace out.